Greetings, this is the Timeshare Traveler. Today is episode 200. I finally made it. My advice to Hilton Grand Vacations. And this is really at a high level. And here's the things I really like and I think they'd like to keep doing. Number one, keep expanding. That's been amazing to me. I've been able to go to probably 20 different new sites that are part of the Diamond Edition. And upgrades, sell timeshares. Man, I've been to places where they've started the upgrades, and I really appreciate that, what Hilton is doing there, and I'll talk more about why I think that's a feature going forward. And the one thing I want to talk about is what I hear from members about expose members to the other resorts outside their current ownership, so if they were Diamond, give them access, and I'll go into that in great detail. And the last thing I think is a future competition. They've done a good job consolidating in the timeshare business, but I think the thing that everybody needs to think about is how do you compete with Airbnb, and I have some ideas for that. So before I get into the detail, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my channel, and I'll be back in about 28 seconds. Hi, this is Cliff, and I'm the Timeshare Traveler. Welcome to my channel. The purpose of my channel is to educate those who love traveling in timeshares. I've been an owner for 15 plus years at timeshare ownership. I have elite ownership with Marriott, Hilton, and WorldMark. I have published over 100 timeshare video reviews, and I've published over 95 timeshare tips. I can be found on Facebook at Timeshare Trav, at Twitter, Timeshare Trav, and on the web at www.timesharetraveler.com. I'm back. Keep expanding. Added locations draw more buyers. It's just, you start to see that wherever you are in the U.S. now, there's a Hilton Grand Vacations, not that far away from our Hilton Club, whichever one of them, but I kind of view them all similarly. More choices throughout the life of an ownership. So you start to see that buying new locations and upgrading is so much quicker than actually building. I think that was a traditional model, is just say you'd build one resort, but that whole process is quite complex versus buying and then upgrading. So it's been really great for me as an owner to see a pickup in locations on a relatively quick basis. I mean, it's only been about 2 years for Diamond, and now we're already seeing blue-green. So that's, to me, showing great growth and opportunities for me as a timeshare owner with Hilton Grand Vacations. I love the additional locations. New locations without new costs. It's like my timeshare got bigger. So I find that's amazing. And again, I congratulate Hilton for doing that, and I hope they keep doing it, because there's more and more locations working out really well. And again, they're buying them in a way I think that's so there's not too much overlap. Now, again, my feeling is I feel like I invested with the winner, because I've got my points and they're adding more resorts. Who knows if I'll upgrade. But I did upgrade multiple times after the Diamond purchase, because I saw it change from just a few resorts here and there on the coast and in Hawaii to all of a sudden I could drive across the country and stay in timeshares all the time. So it completely changed what was possible, and I feel like I get to see so much more of the country. There was more of a multiplier effect with the number of locations. So again, keep expanding, and those of you who haven't taken advantage of the expanding, I suggest you do take advantage of it. The next one is upgrades do sell timeshares. Seeing the commitment that Hilton has made, because there was a lot of negative press, and at least in the chat rooms and so forth, when Diamond was purchased, because it was perceived as not quite the Hilton quality. But they didn't just talk about it, but they're actually doing the upgrades. And I think it would be great. I haven't seen it yet, but that they have a before and after marketing opportunity. It would let me see actually without having to go to them, and I've been to some that are in the process. And I think blue green is another opportunity to differentiate yourself. And I just see that there's a lot of opportunity, and so far I've not seen the marketing of any of that or any of the updates to that to see what the before and after image to show what's happening. Really, I think is a real opportunity. And again, it's what I want to see. I think other people would see the upgrades because there's not been a levied fee on top of it. It's just been part doing the maintenance and using your points, and you just have more locations. Um, and it's pretty amazing. I've actually visited quite a few locations. I travel more than most, but that are in the middle of upgrade. Palm Canyon in Palm Springs, the Point at Poipu in Kauai is started. The Hilton Club Lake Tahoe is about to start. They've done a little bit of the upgrades. San Luis Bay is supposed to be starting at the end of this year, and the Sedona Summit, I believe, is starting fairly soon as well. So those are just in the West Coast in Hawaii, and there are more, I'm sure, happening in other locations. And when Blue Creek comes on, it'll be a good. Again, to me, it feels like I'm getting an upgrade, not just in a room upgrade, but an upgrade to more places to go and similar quality over time. So to me, I think that's upgrade. I think that helps sell new people, which leads me to the next point, which is figure out a way to cross-pollinate the two different groups, and soon to be three. The last point was kind of a lead up to this one. I've talked to several people I have people that have been diamond only and are like, I don't like that Hilton bought us, and then I ask them, well, have you been to any of the Hilton properties? And they'll usually go, no, I'm very happy with what I have. And I've been on the other side where they'll say on the Hilton location, they'll say, well, the diamond resorts aren't really up to the quality of Hilton. Don't think I want to use my points to stay there. Now, what would be great, and I know you have a VIP program that you offer to owners about it, and you can use some of the diamond resorts. But I think there would be value in, again, I think there would be a value in offering a discounted go to the other side, we'll call it, or maybe there's soon to be three sides with blue green, and offer some kind of marketing program for, if you're primarily a Hilton Grand Vacations, you could get a diamond blue green package that would allow you to get a little more access to things, maybe specifically discounted. I don't know exactly how you do that, but I think there's just not enough exposure. Again, you have existing owners, and your best customer is one that's already a customer. To expose them to the other branches without them having to use their points, because either they're really happy with their diamond resorts or they're really happy with their Hilton Grand Vacations, and they need just a little incentive to expand. And I think that's a great opportunity for Hilton to sell more. But I also think it's really good for the owners of whatever side to expose themselves to the other sides. And right now we have that 6-month limited window, and if there'd be some way to get around that for a promotional package, because I know I'm assuming that's possible. And I'm not just talking about the VIP package. When you're at a presentation, you can do that, because the VIP now has some diamond resorts and some of the Hilton Grand Vacation. So it's one method of doing that. But I'm actually thinking of an actual presentation, an actual promotion to actually expose people to the various things, and actually offer it in some way, shape, or form a discount, so that you actually encourage people to do that. And again, I think that becomes even more valuable once you have the blue-green integration happening. Then you'll have a lot of cross-pollination, and I think there's a sales opportunity. But I also think it's really good for the owners to get exposed out to that. I know it's been really great for me to get the exposure to the diamond resorts. I've done a ton of them. In fact, I even bought some of the diamond points for Hawaii in particular because I wanted to have priority. But I just bought a little bit. But I think, again, I think there's an opportunity here. Now, let me drop into the last topic, which is competing with Airbnb. I may have saved the best for last, but I think Hilton has to compete with Airbnb. It's where my kids, they're more comfortable with Airbnb than timeshares. Their view is timeshares is for old people, and Airbnb is where the young people go. And I think that's a missed opportunity for Hilton and all the timeshare companies. But I see a glimmer with the destination exchange. It just seems to be when you get outside the cost to stay at some of the private homes and stuff is way out of line compared to what an Airbnb is. It's Airbnb competes, and there are a couple examples. Marriott has home rentals, and Wyndham has Vacasa, which you can actually use your equivalent to Hilton Honors points to book. So it's their Wyndham rewards. Or maybe, since you've been buying and doing, maybe there's a play to buy Airbnb or VRBO. I don't know that that works because there's a whole lot of relationships, but Wyndham's Vacasa is similar in so many different ways. It's kind of a hybrid of VRBO, timeshares, and Airbnb. And again, the next generation is looking at boutique experiences. They're used to the internet. They're used to everything having access and having unique experiences. And so they're willing to go for the Airbnbs more commonly than I think my generation, although I've done it quite a bit, but I think it's less the case. And again, internet savvy, and there's a whole platform built on that. So I think there's opportunities for Hilton Grand Vacations to compete with Airbnb, and I think they should, because you've now got a great portfolio of that. Now you can, hit the homes and so forth. And there's some issues around quality. And again, look at what Vacasa and Marriott Homes are doing. They're addressing that problem. I think it's an opportunity for Hilton Grand Vacation. I'd love to see them do that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I was trying to give you a sense of what I'd like to see as a savvy traveler with Hilton Grand Vacations, to see where they could take it from here to the next step. Don't forget to give it a like, and don't forget, if you haven't, don't forget to subscribe.